Wind 070 at 7. Cleared for takeoff. Have a safe flight.
We are off on our journey.
I have spent a number of months studying both the Old Earth Creation, OEC position, and the New Earth Creation, NEC position. New Earth Creation is also known as Young Earth Creation. My plan is to present both positions in this video. And to let you know right up front, I do not agree in full with either position. Therefore, I will endeavor to share my thoughts and reasoning with you at the end of this video. This has been a rewarding study and I have really enjoyed it. I do not have the answers, only God does. We must accept that God gave to Moses the words he wanted written. Moses did that between 1445 BC to 1405 BC. So let's jump right in. What is Old Earth Creation? Here is a chart to explain. This is a chart for the Old Earth Creation. The original creation occurred billions of years ago. Genesis 1:1 states, God created Lucifer and the angels along with animals, including dinosaurs, long ago. Lucifer then rebelled and was pushed from heaven along with 1/3 of the angels. Heavenly wars began at that time and extended to earth. The flood of Genesis 1 verse 2 destroys all life on earth. At this point, God recreates the earth in 6 days as found in Genesis 1 verse 3 through Genesis 2 verse 3. Here's the bottom line. Genesis 1:1 is the original creation of God, and it was perfect in every way. Between Genesis 1:1 and 1:2, Satan rebelled in heaven and was cast out, which led to a heavenly war in which the earth was reduced to its formless and empty state. Billions of years occurred between Genesis 1:1 and 1:2. Thus the earth was reconstructed or recreated, starting with Genesis 1 verse 3. Please note that there are variations with Old Earth creation, some of which are gap theory, ruin and restoration, theistic evolution, progressive creationism, and day-age theory. We will discuss the gap theory in this video. The OEC puts the age of the universe at approximately 13.7 billion years old, and the creation of Adam and Eve between 30,000 to 70,000 years ago. OEC also incorporates evolution and puts death, disease, and suffering before the fall of Adam. Please note that there are some within the OEC camp that claim evolution did not happen. God created pre-Adamic spirit creatures along with the animals, including dinosaurs that lived during this time. The flood of Genesis 1:2 destroyed all physical life on earth. Long before the 6 days of recreation, God created the angelic world with its multiplicity of dominions and authorities. OEC uses the fossil records, geologic column, radiometric dating, redshift of light from distant stars, carbon dating, and other scientific data to back their date setting. Sin did not begin on earth, as Satan is the originator of sin, long before Adam. Lucifer became dead to God when he sinned and then became known as Satan. God pushed Lucifer from the heaven of heavens, and 1/3 of the angels followed. Satan came to earth and tempted Eve in the Garden of Eden. The war in heaven continues to this day. Here are some references for those of you who wish to dig deeper into Lucifer's creation, position, fall, and judgment. All of this can be found in Ezekiel 28 verses 12 through 19 and Isaiah 14 verse 12. Let's move on. What is New Earth creation? Here is a chart to explain. This is a chart of the New Earth creation, also known as Young Earth creation. God created the universe, Earth, man, animals, plants, trees, all in the 6 days of creation, approximately 4004 BC, which would be 6,000 years ago. The fall of Satan occurred during those 6 days or shortly thereafter. New Earth creationists are also known as biblical creationists. NEC takes the Genesis account literally and believes that God directly created the universe and all within 6 literal days. Genesis 1:3 to Genesis 2 verse 3 gives the details of the 6 days of creation. Here are the 6 days of creation. Here are the 6 days of creation. Day 1, Genesis 1 verses 3 through 5. Day and night, evening and morning. Day 2, Genesis 1 verses 6 through 8. Sky, the vault between waters, and water below and above the vault. Day 3, Genesis 1 verses 9 through 13. Dry land appeared, seas, vegetation, plants and trees. Day 4, Genesis 1 verses 14 through 19. Lights in vault, 2 great lights, stars. Day 5, Genesis 1 verses 20 to 23. Sea life and birds. Day 6, Genesis 1 verses 24 to 31. Livestock, wild animals, creatures that move along ground, mankind, male and female, green plants for food. Day 7, Genesis 2 verses 1 through 3. Heavens and earth completed, God rested, day made holy. Some major beliefs of NEC are: hold to the global flood of Noah's day. Vast fossil record is and always has been compatible with Noah's global flood, Genesis 7 verses 21 to 23. Resist the doctrine of human evolution. Death did not exist prior to Adam. Dinosaurs became extinct during the Ice Age, which occurred after Noah's flood. And it is likely that Satan did not fall until 100 years after creation. Here are some comments I wish to share that were found in the study of the NEC. Angels were created by day 6, or maybe day 4, or possibly early on day 1. In other words, the exact date is not known. Day 3. It appears that God created one giant ocean and one giant continent, which included the Garden of Eden. Day 4. It is assumed that the heaven of heavens was created with the physical heavens. That includes the moon and stars. God was the light for the first 3 days. Satan fell after day 6, or likely soon after day 7. It could have also been 100 years later, therefore the exact day is not known. Day 6. Adam and Eve were created along with all animals, including dinosaurs. Now to my version of the creation story. Before I begin, I want to list some important facts and thoughts. Number 1, as stated prior, Moses wrote the book of Genesis. The first 11 chapters of Genesis includes over 2,000 years of history. 2, God is a spirit, is infinite, is eternal. God does not live in a time frame. God was in existence even before the beginning. 3, God created Lucifer and all the angels as spirit beings. Lucifer was an anointed cherub. Angels as spirit beings never die. 4. Scriptures are never wrong. It is impossible for the Bible to contradict true science. Science has proven nothing that disproves the Bible's account. God is the author of all truth and knowledge. 5. Evolution cannot happen. It is a big lie of Satan. Evolution takes God out of the equation and requires natural selection and death. Evolution is a false religion. 6. The Bible gives no date for creation nor states the age of the earth and the universe. Both OEC and NEC seek to solve the apparent conflict between science and the Bible in regard to age. 7. This is very important. The age of the earth should not become a hot button for Christians. We need to keep our focus on the core doctrines of sin, salvation, morality, heaven, and hell. I do believe it is important to have an understanding of the creation of the earth and the universe. 8. The main difference between OEC and NEC is the fall of Lucifer. It boils down to interpretation. So where do I stand? Are you ready? Here is my version. As I stated earlier, I do not agree in full with either OEC or NEC. So please allow me to go out on a limb and present my viewpoint. You in no way have to agree with my position, but I hope you will at least read, think, and then jump in for yourself to make your own decisions and conclusions. And if you are so inclined, please let me know your thoughts. I believe that Genesis teaches that mankind and the species living on earth cannot be older than 6,021 years old. I believe the earth and the universe is much older. God, a spirit, has always been, eternity past and eternity future. God resides in the heaven of heavens. God created Lucifer and all the angels in the heavens of heaven. How many? Revelation 5:11 tells us that there were over 100 million angelic beings at God's throne. Here is a key point. Lucifer and the angels were created prior to the earth and man. Job 38 verses 4-7 states, "Where were you when I laid the earth's foundation? Tell me, if you understand, who marked off its dimensions? Surely you know. Who stretched a measuring line across it? On what were its footings set? Or who laid its cornerstone while the morning stars sang together and all the angels shouted for joy?" We are told here that Lucifer and the angels witnessed the creation of heaven and earth. I present to you that prior to Adam and Eve, the only entities in the universe consisted of God, Lucifer, and millions of angels, all spirit beings. The Bible does not say there were humans and beasts on earth prior to the 6 days of recreation. I believe the earth was already in existence prior to creation week. God gave Lucifer authority over the earth and likely the entire solar system. The earth was Lucifer's first estate. We are then told in Ezekiel 28 verses 15-18 and Isaiah 14 verses 13 and 14 that Lucifer sinned and turned against God. Lucifer took 1/3 of the angels with him. Heavenly warfare broke out and is still ongoing to this day. As a result, the earth was destroyed in this war. The universe has indications of this war with mega craters and asteroid strikes. Another key point is this. We are told that Lucifer fell and became known as Satan prior to Adam and Eve. We are told in Genesis 3 verses 1-7 that Satan inhabited the serpent and tempted Eve in the Garden of Eden. In Romans 5:12 we read, "Therefore, just as sin entered the world through one man, and death through sin, and in this way death came to all people, because all sinned." Here we see that sin entered the human race through one man, Adam. Starting in Genesis 1 verse 3, we have the 6 days of recreation of the earth. Adam and Eve were created on day 6 and then were banished from the garden approximately 100 to 110 years after creation. Up until Noah's flood, which was year 1656, all animals were friendly and under man's control. Man and dinosaurs walked together. All mankind and animals were vegetarians, and there was no rain or clouds on earth. It was during this 1656 years that some of the fallen angels came to earth and cohabitated with the daughters of men. The offspring, who were part celestial and part terrestrial, were known as the Nephilim in Genesis 6. Our next video will cover the Nephilim. I hope that you will take time to study the OEC and the NEC positions to form your own opinion. And don't forget, only God has the answers. The most important decision is for you to know Jesus personally. I hope you do.